Now, one of the biggest reasons why most brands exist online is they're looking for engagement, we are looking for the earning possibilities through their accounts. So, let's say the first and foremost thing is selling products or selling services. That's what most brands are, as of this point, engaging or creating their content from that perspective. So, think of your Instagram page really as a catalog where your products are on display, your services are on display. Now, since Instagram isn't designed as an advertising tool, so it's not like Etsy, what you want to do is to create each of your uh, content pieces as being uh, a lot more about telling a story that connects with your end user. So it cannot just be about displaying products and creating a lot of flat lays which are about product hoarding. So right now, minimalism is key. People do not like buying tons of products. It's also the age of a very aware consumer. So if your packaging or your branding does not resonate of being, let's say, one of the key elements would be being recyclable, that's something that's not going to connect with the end user. So when you're selling your products, you have to remember that you're dealing with a very aware consumer at this point. You have tons of products in the market within your niche, and a lot of these products uh, have a lot of ingredients that maybe your end consumer is not aware of, doesn't work for them. So don't just display products and make the imagery look pretty. You may get a lot of initial response for this, but you'll see a lot of hate comments, a lot of unnecessary back and forth when it comes to your Instagram comments. If you're not aware of this when you're creating your uh, uh, product pages, each of these products should also sort of lead to a landing page. So you have to have enough of call to action. It can't just be a product sitting on an Instagram page looking pretty. It has to sort of tell you what the offers are, what is the value add of buying the product. You have to create some sort of an urgency for the Instagram viewer to actually go and buy the product. Now, if you have affiliates, connect your affiliates to create a push strategy for your product on the Instagram page. That's something they can do. Now, the second opportunity is when you are selling advertising space. So, let's say your first content piece is about you selling your product. The second would be you having, let's say, co branded space or a product which really is the go to product, but not really something you sell, is being sold by a sub brand or uh, basically an advertising space that you always want to keep. So, marketing on Instagram from this perspective is slightly different because you're not engaging with the end user who likes your brand or your product so much. You are pushing content to your consumer who not necessarily would like the product. So you have to remember, while this is great monetarily, it's one of those things that can make you lose a lot of followers in case they think that your page is a sellout or has become too monetized over time, or the product category selection is doesn't work with what your niche is, or sometimes you just pick products that have a bad reputation in the market. This tends to happen with products that are new or with products that may not necessarily be within your domain. Remember, Instagram is full of experts who the only thing that they are experts, maybe not so much influencers, but just word of mouth experts, so you have to be careful of the brands that you select. But this is a great opportunity to earn revenue since you're selling your online space, and this can be done as an exercise on a weekly, regular basis to sort of help create and engage and have a lot more revenue streams when it comes to your marketing campaigns. So, this has over time become a great source of revenue for sort of return on investment space when it comes to your entire marketing campaigns. The third is when you're creating affiliates. So there's a difference between an affiliate and an influencer. Affiliates would ideally be connected with your brand purely for the reasons of creating sales for you and earning commission from it. So they may not be as powerful as influencers. They could be influencers as well as affiliates, but usually these are people who like the concept of selling and earning while they do their own while they are at work or while they have their own businesses. Now your pages should talk to affiliates. So let's say the third content piece that you create is targeting these affiliates. It's talking to affiliates in a language which we're talking about how much commission they would earn, what the necessary steps are, what is the sort of earning potential from engaging with your brand. You're also trying to get into influencer marketing because a lot of these affiliates would be influencers within their niche. So your influencer marketing campaign takes place through Instagram, through this content piece, and these are all great ideas for you to set up your content calendar, because that can be one of the most difficult things when you start creating content calendars is where do you start from. So these are all ideas that you can sort of work with your offline campaign managers and sort of see how much you want to invest back into your Instagram pages. So let's see how much you earn through selling advertising space. You could use that amount to create a better or effective affiliate and influencer marketing campaign. Now, we can talk a little bit more about uh, what are you looking for when it comes to your Instagram page. So first thing, the number of organic followers. You want people who engage with your brand to be genuine advocates of the brand. You are looking for people who are not so much um, they are not ideally people who just possibly like the look and feel of your product, or people who maybe have an aspirational value when it comes to your product but will never really make a buy. So when I say followers, these are people who at the end of the day, if you were to run a campaign, would end up making a purchase. uh, there are also a lot of tools, a lot of softwares which will help you track genuine followers. So when you sit down with clients, don't get down into unethical practices of getting fake accounts, of creating a lot of engagement which is done through in-house channels. Your followers have to result in engagement and in affinity. The second thing is you're looking for how much reach your, let's say, your page has. So reach is ideally the number of people who actually saw your content. Now there's a whole algorithm of how Instagram works. So how your followers see your content, was it just viewed, was there engagement, or was it part of the clutter and your content got lost. So reach is very different from impressions. Impressions are how many times did your end user actually see the same content piece. Reach, on the other hand, works differently. It's the number of followers who saw your content. Now, Affinity is what we are aiming for. Did your content connect with the audience, and did it have a call to action? So, were your followers inspired enough? Were they engaged enough to actually take the next step? So, let's say you ran a campaign saying offer valid for the next 24 hours. Was there any traction on this? Did people actually engage with your brand, get onto the landing page, make inquiries, make a phone call, or was your content was it lost in the clutter? Was the reach poor? You also have to check the metrics for this, which Instagram does a great job of. So, understanding all of these leads to a great value page. Now, when you think of a good Instagram page, these are the factors that go into creating an Instagram page which has a happy client at the end of it. Now, we look at a little bit of math in the next segment.